at you here at 3 Point View. We're drinking beer and talking sports is what we do. Does LeBron run the Cleveland Cavaliers? Everybody says he's the coach, but this week he said, "Sit down, coach." All over Twitter it exploded when they filled in the blanks and it said, "Sit your ass back down before I have you sent to overseas, just like the last coach," or something. And then Ty Lue said the choice words as in
he dropped an F-bomb.
Yeah, he dropped the
F-bomb and sat down. I didn't fill in all the blanks that the Twitter world did fill in. To me, it looked like LeBron was pointing at something, and Lue was standing in the way. And Lue looked over at him, and he did say aggressively. I mean, he's in the middle of the game. He looked at him and said, "Dude, like, sit the fuck down." And he sat down, and he mumbled an F word right there, just like I just said.
I mean, if it comes down to it. I mean, I don't think that LeBron says sit your ass down before I get you sent back to Europe.
That's like a long sentence.
I mean, yeah, that's a long thing to say during the middle of a game and the heat and the passions going on right now. But I mean, LeBron's not the first person to yell at his coach. LeBron's not the first person to yell at teammates. I mean, Kobe, Mike, LeBron, all the stars, Shaq, all these guys have done it. And whether it's to their coach, whether it's to their teammates, whatever the case may be, everybody makes fun of Tyronn Lue, saying LeBron's the coach, LeBron's the GM, LeBron's the owner, everything LeBron. I mean,
is it a coincidence that the very next day he doesn't show up for work?
He had the poops.
He had the bubble.
He had the poops. You know?
I guess.
He didn't come out the second half. It's not the first time.
It wasn't a good look right after that happened, though.
Mama, write me a note.
LeBron, write me a note.
I mean, the look on the bench's face when it was going on was a kind of a look of like, what the hell is going on? Like, I feel like if the statement was true and he sit your ass doan before I send you overseas like I did last coach, I feel like everybody on the bench would have been like, oh. So I don't think it was to that extreme, but
they would have done like one of them college celebrations.
My question to you guys is, what coaches can you think on the top of your head who would have just told LeBron take a walk?
Pat Riley. Popovich.
Chuck Daly. You think old Phil Jackson could have done it?
Stan Van Gundy would.
Yeah. Dude, Van Gundy might have fought him.
Yeah. I think
Van Gundy might have got
Stan, not Jeff.
Oh, sorry.
One person I would love for him to say sit the fuck down. Avery Johnson.
Get
out my face, man! Who do you think you're talking to?
Yeah, he's the coach of Alabama.
I know. But I'm just saying, I think that's partially the reason he can't coach in the NBA. He's the only guy I know that got 60-some wins, and never got called again because the NBA has shifted to such a players league that you can't get in some.
That's why I'm surprised Rick Carlisle's still the coach.
He looks like Jim Carrey lost his hair.
Oh, he is so Jim Carrey. He looks just like Jim Carrey. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, with LeBron, he also gave himself a pat on the back this week.
Yeah, with the dunk over Nurkic.
It was a nice dunk.
It was nice. It was
a real nice dunk.
But he had an interview afterwards, and they said that dunk's going to go down in history. Like, no one even said that's going to go down in history. You said it yourself. and then when he got the 30,000 points, he sent a tweet out before that. And it was like, congratulations.
It was a letter to himself.
Yeah, a letter to himself.
I remember the letter
no other athlete's ever done that, ever. Yeah. I mean, that's what makes LeBron different, but it also gives LeBron, you're putting the light on yourself, and you're going to get so much shade thrown at you because of it.
And he's used to having some shade thrown.
Oh, my God. Dude's been in the spotlight since he was 14 years old,
I'm just saying, like you said, he's been in the spotlight since he was 14. But, it's just funny to me that Michael Jordan, degenerate gambler.
Mm-hmm. Charles Barkley, degenerate gambler.
I'm just saying, the way he lived life and things like that.
Yeah.
Kobe, we know the struggles he went through. But people hold them in such a higher ranking than LeBron. No. And what's LeBron ever done?
Right.
As far as...
clean cut. He's like the Derek Jeter of basketball.
Most people...
But Jeter wouldn't send a tweet out thanking himself for
but we're talking
himself.
Off the field. There's never ever been anything to come out.
LeBron's not going to get all the love that he deserves until he hangs those shoes up.
And you know why LeBron doesn't get the love that he deserves? And nobody even touches on this. LeBron doesn't get the love that he deserves because everybody is on the Michael Jordan train, and they're like trying to like love
They're
LeBron,
hanging
trying to go over to LeBron, and it's just they just can't do it.
No.
And then when LeBron does this stuff, it's like, yeah, all right, we're back on the Jordan train.
LeBron's not going to get that complete love until the moment he hangs those shoes up. Once
Yeah.
he hangs the shoes up, you're going to start hearing even more so, is he the greatest player of all time? Those arguments are going to come up heavily then.
What if he goes to another finals and loses?
I mean, then he can sit there and be like, hey, I lost more finals than Jordan won.
that'd be
Yeah, how many-
6.
How many Jerry
it
West
would be.
lose?
6.
Is
No,
that
no,
what
no. I'm talking about LeBron.
LeBron.
No, I'm saying
I
how
don't
much
know about Jerry.
Jerry lost a lot. I'm saying so.
Yeah,
I'm saying
running into Boston then.
right. So I'm saying like I don't ever when I think of Jerry West, I think of him as a great player, but to
Right.
be the best player, to be on the Mount Rushmore of the NBA
Well, if
is
you
the wins.
If you think about it, you got in football Tom Brady, in basketball it's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, because they're clutch.
You know, in baseball it's Derek Jeter.
Right.
You
Because they're
know,
clutch. Because if you look at Jeter's regular season stats, they don't even compare to something.
not as like the greatest of all time, but
LeBron's got what,
he's a
3?
superstar though.
LeBron's
got 3. And he's
Now,
got
let's just say
5
it's
losses?
not. Yeah, it's not
No.
that far fetched for him to make it to another 2.
no, not
Okay.
at all.
Now, what
Not
if he
at
ends
all.
up winning one and he loses another?
Right.
One? Okay.
And then it's still the
you
same
have to,
thing.
You have to, but you still have to give him credit. That's 10 freaking
I know.
championships.
I know.
10.
10.
Okay, and
10
you won 4.
10
That's not
chances
that. That's
at a
not that
championship,
far
yeah.
behind Jordan with the 4 to 6. I'm just
Well-
saying.
well, yeah.
Jordan wasn't there 10 freaking times.
Right. He was there 6
has to
times,
be
won
some-
6
Yeah,
times.
there has to be some credit there.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
that's a
absolute credit.
big reason why I give Tom Brady credit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm a
They've been
Niners.
there 9 out of
I'm a
18
Niners.
years.
I'm a Niners fan.
Yeah.
Joe was perfect. You know what I mean? Tommy wasn't perfect, but
What
you know
about
what?
Stevie Young?
Oh, dude, I love Steve. Either way, but what I'm getting at, as far as the argument of the greatest of all time, you have to eventually give the fact that they were there that many times
Right.
that a notch. I don't care if every 2 that he lost should be almost 1 that he won. You know what I mean? It's somewhere in that credit line. I don't know.
I just think
It's impressive.
I think with social media and how everything's overanalyzed now, we forget about things that Mike and Kobe did, that LeBron had, like the rebounding, the 3-point shooting. I'm just saying LeBron outnumbers them.
Oh, statistical
Right.
wise?
Everybody sees
all the way
Kobe
across
as this
the
great
board.
3-point shooter. Look up the facts. He's not
I
that
wouldn't
good
even
all
say
time.
it's such a great 3-point shooter. Just
But in
clutch.
everybody's mind, if you look at his career 3-point percentage, it will blow your mind if you look at it. It's like
No.
around 30%.
No.
LeBron's been shooting close to 40% this year, and nobody even cares.
Right.
Everybody's just like, oh, the fact that he works on his game to do that. He's developing post moves in year 14. Like
LeBron's going to be top 5 in all your major categories.
when it's all said and done.
When it's all
Absolutely.
said and done.
And this is one thing that I'm
He's
going
going to be the first player ever to do that.
This is one thing I'm going to say about LeBron that I don't think, and some people are going to disagree with me because he did the big 3 in Miami or whatever.
No.
But I don't feel like he's really had a legitimate Robin to his Batman. I mean, Pippen. I think Pippen was better than anybody he had in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
I think Shaq, you know what I mean, for Kobe was better than anybody yet. He hasn't had that legitimate
Right.
boom, that number 2, like number 2, number 1.5, like. He's had good players around him. He's had some Hall of Famers around him, but none of them
He had
that
Dwayne
top
Wade
tier.
for 1 year. That was top
tier.
1 year, and
Yeah.
then he was
I mean-
injured a lot after that.
I don't. I mean, as far as, and he's going to get the black eye of starting to join up with superstars
Right,
and all this
right,
other
right.
crap. But to
The
be
big
honest,
threes
yeah,
and
to be
all
honest, that kind of stuff was going on back then. It just wasn't
right. I mean,
as
the big 3
relevant.
started way back then.
Yeah.
It did.
So the thing they don't ever talk about is Michael Jordan didn't have to beat the best shooting team in NBA history. Like we said before, like you used to have a guy who could shoot 40%
Right.
from 3.
Joe Dumars, Mark
Right.
Aguirre.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That one guy,
Right.
Steve Kerr, John Paxson. You know what I mean? Like you had that. Now, like everybody on the court can hit the 3.
Right.
So
you
Mike
got that
can't
stretch
guard 5
4.
people.
All right.
That's the most complete team. This is like the equivalent if you took the Trailblazers with Drexler and
Cliff Robinson.
Cliff Robinson, and then
Kersey.
combined them with Barkley.
You even had
Barkley.
Danny Ainge on that team.
But I'm saying like Durant going to Golden State is the equivalent like if Barkley, the MVP at one point, joined. Mike never had to beat a team like that.
Right.
I'm a Michael Jordan fan,
Yeah.
but LeBron has had a harder.
LeBron's best argument for his career is going to be that Golden State team that he was down 3-1 on.
Right.
So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that LeBron will be on the Mount Rushmore of every basketball player that ever lived.
Absolutely.
When it's all said
There's
and
no
done.
question about it.
Yeah, there's no way. No, there's nothing any different.
So, yeah, that's,
So,
I mean.
so we got another team out there who's kicking ass and taking names. The Portland Trailblazers have been on a run lately. Damian Lillard, is he stuck in squalor up in Portland?
He's doing great. I mean, they're 12-0 since the All-Star break. He's averaging 27 points a game, about 7 assists a game, and C.J. McCollum's his Batman, and McCollum's solid as well.
You mean Robin?
It's Robin. Yeah, my bad. It's Robin. And on top of that, he's got 14 straight games with 20-plus points. They face the Clippers tonight, so they're about 10:30. But their next 3 games is going to show exactly who they are, right? Because their next game is against Houston. And then the game after that is against Boston. And then to top it off on Sunday, it's against the Thunder. So it's going to show, they're third in the West. They're third in the West right now.
So we're going to hold our breath on Portland.
Right. I mean, it's still out there. They're third in the West right now. And the Thunder's, right on their coattails.
We got it written down here: contender or pretender. Myself, Golden State. Is
we should add in betweener.
Yeah, that's where they are. That's where they are. I do realize there are some injuries going on in Golden State,
right?
But I honestly feel like the injuries are more so rest days.
And Durant's out for another 2 weeks.
Yeah, and like I said, I think those are more so rest days. I think Durant, if the playoffs were starting in a week, Durant would be playing.
So I don't know if Thompson's got a broken thumb or Durant's got a rib fracture, or if Curry's got a twisted ankle.
You remember how many people were having a big problem with players resting just a year ago? Okay, so now suddenly these injuries are coming to their top players, all of them, right before the playoff time. Coincidence? Probably not. I honestly feel like Golden State, when the time's right, is still going to be.
But what about Portland?
I don't think Portland's going to be a contender.
No,
I don't think they're going to give them a shot. I don't think Portland's going to beat Houston.
Clint said the only way they become a contender is Anthony Davis. Science in Portland.
Between Nurkic at the top, and then you got McCollum and Lillard. You're looking at McCollum and Lillard doing about 40 shots a game just between them two. Mm-hmm. So you're not getting a lot of scoring from your small forward, power forward, center position. The next person, the third person in shot attempts is the center, and then your small forward and power forward kind of like 5 to 8 a game. Your center's like 10 to 14, and then these guys are 20 apiece.
Portland. So, I don't think Portland could beat Houston at this point.
I don't think Portland could beat Houston either. But I really do think Portland shows up against Houston, and they show up against Golden State, and they really play hard against those teams.
Well,
and
everybody should.
Lillard shows his ass against those guys. Like he goes out on them
hard,
right? But
he has a vendetta against.
Oh, absolutely,
Curry.
absolutely.
He dogs Curry.
And what he does is he'll start shooting 35-foot threes. Like he'll start bombing
saying,
threes.
You're not the only one.
I can do it too.
That can do this.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
I like Lillard, and I really think if Anthony Davis went there and they keep McCollum, if they can work out something in that regard, like trading Nurkic, I think they got a chance in the West.
I just want to say this. We come up with these scenarios as far as like Anthony Davis.
Right.
Now don't sit there and say Anthony Davis will never go to Portland and all that stuff. This is all just figurative talk. I'm just saying we're talking about possibilities that if this happened, that this would be Golden State.
It would be cool.
No.
So don't sit there and try to tell us that one day, blah, blah. We know that Anthony Davis is not going to Portland right now. We're just talking in a fake fairyland world that Lillard would get some help.
Yeah.
When he,
LeBron said, "Let me get Dame Lillard, and I'll show him how appreciated he is."
Yeah.
No. Well, we do know that LeBron appreciates himself and pats himself on the back.
Right.
And we do know that you tried the rest. Now we're the best. Make sure you give us some feedback on Twitter. Clint's always on Twitter. Clint's the man with the comments. We got Brandon on Instagram. Hit him up on Instagram. And me, I'm just the McLovin of this group. The go back to the nerdery. And if you guys have some comments on my editing, maybe we could meet an AV club in the back of the quiet room or whatever. So we'll see you next week on 3 Point View.